AMC game, what's going on? This is Lim. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're reacting to another creepy, scary video titled 6 Most Disturbing Camping Encounters Caught on Camera. And the reason why I'm reacting to this today is because I myself love camping. So fuck it, I just want to get spooked. Let's see if this really actually does scare me the next time I go camping. But yeah, nothing happened. Without further ado, let's go. Okay, so I got this version of my recording, but I kind of want to try this way. I don't know, kind of like it, but I don't know if it's better to show my face or not. I gotta try it out just to see how, if you guys fuck with it or not. Maybe I'll do it for this video. I mean, both ways seems fine. I'll probably just try this one again. Alright, enough yapping. Let's go. Okay, 6 most disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Gotta make sure y'all can hear it, because if you can't and I record myself, I'm cooked. You know, I gotta restart and do a different recording. But yeah, let's go. Alright.
In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason uploaded a video to his channel, Abbey Mountain Trekkers, in which he recorded footage of his solo overnight trip to the mountains. His channel is dedicated to all things outdoors, in which Jason frequently uploads videos of his adventures hiking, camping, and surviving in the woods. In this particular video, his hike up to the mountain is pretty uneventful, and as soon as he arrives at the campsite, Jason begins setting up his tent and shows his viewers how he starts a fire as the sun begins to set. As he waits for the day to end, he tries his luck at spoon carving, and this is when he reports hearing a strange sound coming from the top of one of the mountains, but he writes it off as a bird or some other small animal and continues setting up for the night. At about 9 o'clock, he turns his camera off to go to bed, but less than an hour later, he wakes up to a strange sound that he says he's never heard before in his life. He mentions it sounded like some sort of guttural animal call, but because it came from pretty far away, he couldn't identify what it was.
I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors
What the hell?
communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Still shaken after the rude awakening, he tries to go back to bed, but just a few hours later at around 1 a.m. he wakes up again to what he describes as the sound of something or someone circling his tent.
Whatever it is, it's close. You hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter.
If you look closely at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you can see the reflection of what appears to be 1 or 2 sets of eyes as
That's
he
what I
pans his
saw.
flashlight
I
over
saw
them.
that too.
Although there are many animals with eyes that reflect light at night, based on the fiery white color of the reflection, it's very likely that Jason was being observed by wolves or coyotes. Dogs' eyes will also give off a white reflection, but considering that it was around 1 a.m. when this happened, it's unlikely that a dog would be walking around in the mountains so close to his campsite. Coyote and wolf attacks on humans are rare, as both species tend to avoid human contact, but they can still become very aggressive if they feel threatened, especially if they have pups nearby. If this were the case, Jason would be in grave danger, but chillingly he doesn't even seem to notice the eyes watching him as he scans the area with his flashlight. Luckily, he went back to his tent and slept safely through the night. When he woke up the next morning, he recorded another update for his viewers, but he never mentioned the eyes that his camera had captured the night before, suggesting he might have never noticed. After this video, there were no additional updates on the incident.
Damn, that's crazy, honestly. It's actually really crazy.
In 2021, YouTuber Matt Field spent the night in a dark cave in the middle of nowhere in Australia after his friend told him about an unsettling experience he had in that cave and dared him to spend the night there alone. Matt's channel is a bit more extreme than other outdoor exploration channels, and his videos often feature him leaving civilization behind and going to remote locations for days, living only off the fish he catches and the animals he hunts. In the video, he mentions that he didn't bring any water to the trip, hoping to find water to drink in the cave. After about 4 hours of walking, he finally finds the cave and climbs down the man-made ladder inside. Venturing deeper inside the cave, Matt crawls into the different holes he finds to see if any of them lead anywhere. Around this time, he started hearing a couple of rocks falling near the entrance and the sound of some sort of animal walking around. At one point in the video, he...
Dude, this reminds you of like the rock climber people, like I don't know what type of people they are, but it's the type of people they try to go in like the smallest holes in like mountains or something like that. Dude, I don't even know how you could do that. Like, that's so scary. Like, I would just get claustrophobic right away. I just could not do that. That's just so crazy. I know he's not one of them, but like that's just reminding me of it. Like that shot he showed about that hole. Like people were definitely like, you know, try to go something like that. Like it's just crazy that people do stuff like that.
Mentions he feels like he's being watched, and things get a little more disturbing at around 11 p.m. when he begins to eat his baked beans for dinner.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave.
Yo.
Oh my god. That was the sound.
That sounds like bats.
That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder.
What? Nah, someone's got to be with him there.
It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that. Holy.
When Matt recorded this video, it wasn't a windy night at all, and the fact that the chain is moving can only mean that there's someone or something down there with him.
That chain moved just then. It is 100% now. I heard it before. I'm 100% certain it's the chain that I walked in, that you climbed down into this cave on. It's moving. Now, you can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even forecast. Holy.
Nah, bro. That's crazy.
Oh,
bro.
God. You must have heard that just then.
Why do people, bro? People be bored as fuck, but why do people go in places like that? That's just oh my god. The chains, bro. Someone was definitely moving that, like, damn.
Look at my arms, dude.
It was definitely, yo. Nah, bro. Bro, better get up out of there.
Okay. Well, I've got my backpack back on, and I'm booting on out of here.
Yeah, bro. Get the fuck out of there. Holy shit.
It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound, and I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours after I checked in with you guys, so it would be around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that sound was not normal. I'm getting out of here.
After the creepy noises subside, he changes his mind about leaving the cave and decides to spend the rest of the night near the entrance.
Bro.
A couple of hours later, he reported hearing hissing sounds that sounded like human voices, but after walking around the cave, he couldn't find anything that could be making those noises. Aside from big animals, the worst thing that could have happened to Matt is to have come across a hostile squatter living in the cave, although it's unclear why anyone would want to live down there. Fortunately, he made his way out of the cave safely as soon as the sun rose, and never went back to that cave again.
That is crazy.
Rody is a channel dedicated to off-the-grid living, in which the uploader usually posts videos about what life is like living out of his truck and traveling around the country. The videos are usually pretty cool, with an emphasis on the beauty of nature and independent living. But this particular video is a bit more disturbing than the rest. In December 2017, Rody uploaded footage of an incident that took place earlier that year while he was car camping in a parking lot. At around 1:30 a.m., a hooded man started walking around his truck and taking pictures of his license plates. Because the back of the truck where the uploader was sleeping was pretty much pitch black, the man probably didn't see anyone in there and continued to suspiciously walk around the truck for several minutes, unaware that he was being recorded. After a while, the man makes his way to the side of the truck and tries to shine the flashlight inside, which is when the uploader decides to take action to protect himself and let the man know he's there. Immediately after the uploader bangs his fist on the inside of the truck, the suspicious man runs away. It's unclear what exactly he planned to do, but based on his behavior, it couldn't have been anything good, and he was probably planning a carjacking. Fortunately, the uploader was able to get away safely and spend the night elsewhere. Gary and Amica are a father-daughter duo from Scotland who make videos about their travels around Europe in their camper van.
Compared to the other things, pretty wholesome. I feel like supernatural things are more worse than something like that, but I don't know.
And entertaining. But in this particular video, Gary and Amica had a pretty disturbing encounter. This footage was uploaded in March of 2023 during a trip to Tensmuir Forest in North Fife, Scotland. As they were walking through the woods, Amica told her dad she heard voices somewhere near them, and after searching for a while, this is what they found.
We just stopped and had a look in these woods.
Yo, what the fuck is that?
Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground.
It's falling over. Look at the one on the ladders going up the tree.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's creepy.
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there.
Bro, but she said that she heard voices.
That is weird, isn't it?
There's one over there that isn't actually a person. There's a doggy there.
In addition to dozens of creepy mannequins dressed up in costumes, they came across some pretty unsettling paintings hanging outside the little cabin in the middle of the woods. I did some research and found several other channels that featured the strange cabin, but the only information I could find was that the mannequins and paintings were probably set up there at some point in 2021. It's unknown what exactly the purpose of all this is, but whoever set it up clearly went through a lot of trouble to make it as creepy as possible. As Gary and Amica make their way out of the woods, a car starts to approach them from the other side, and Gary starts to get a little freaked out. Fortunately, they were able to make it back to the van without having to cross the car's path. As of this video's upload, there have been no further updates on the creepy discovery.
Damn. Yeah, that's weird.
In 2018, a YouTuber named John uploaded this video to his channel Lost Lakes, in which he posts about his backcountry camping adventures in Canada. The video was taken at around 3:30 a.m. at a remote location west of Chapleau, Ontario, where, according to John, there was no cell phone signal.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night. And then around 3:30, I started to hear this pacing sound. And 45 minutes later, it's still pacing around out there.
Considering he was camping in a remote location in the black bear capital of the world, it's very likely that there was a bear or some other large animal outside the tent. Although it's rare for bears to attack campers, it has been known to happen. Other animals such as moose or wildcats can also pose a threat to campers if they ever feel threatened or provoked, and in those cases, a feeble camping tent won't offer a lot of protection against an angry 600-pound animal.
Yeah.
It's much more common for people to be harassed by other people than by animals, but in this case, the footsteps don't sound very human. To maintain sanity, John shows his viewers the things he brought along on his camping trip to protect himself against animals, which include a hatchet, bear spray, and an air horn. Near the end of the video, he mentions his car is right outside the tent, but he can't find his key and probably left it in the car. But in the end, he slept through the night safely. He never found out what exactly was walking around his tent that night. Most campers will say they're more afraid of running into ill-intentioned people rather than aggressive animals on their camping trips, and this footage is the perfect example of why. Love Sundays is a channel run by a man named Sean who uploads videos of his solo camping adventures in the UK. In a video he uploaded in September 2022, he shows what happened one night when he camped on the side of the road in Cornwall. Technically, he wasn't supposed to be camping there due to parking regulations, so he made every effort possible to make it seem less obvious that he would be spending the night on the side of the road. Before the sun sets, he goes into his van and starts making dinner, making as little noise as possible to avoid unwanted attention. At around 9 p.m., he turns off the lights and goes to bed. Everything seems to be going just fine, but at around 2 a.m., Sean's night takes a pretty unsettling turn.
Oh, why? It's always around 2 or 3 a.m., bro.
I just heard something outside.
Oh my. Or should it just be like the police? they knocking? Like, why would they knock?
Okay, I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van. It wasn't just a knocking, they were trying their handle.
It's not uncommon for solo campers to be asked to move somewhere else in the middle of the night, especially when you're parked somewhere where you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's highly unlikely that this was a police officer or some other person with the authority to tell him to move, as in these cases, they would almost always knock first and announce themselves verbally. Once they have your attention, they'll ask you to leave, but they won't just walk up to a van on the side of the road and start trying the door handle without announcing their intentions.
Yeah, that's right.
It's much more likely that someone was trying to break into Sean's van. Luckily, whoever was trying to break in left after only a few seconds, and Sean wasn't bothered by them again. These kinds of encounters can be extremely disturbing, but luckily Sean woke up the next morning unharmed and was on his way to his next destination.
I just think that's so random. Like, why the hell are they gonna knock? Like, why are they gonna knock and not? Or actually, yeah. Why are they even knocking in general? Like, they're gonna ask, like, oh, let me steal your van? I don't know. But yeah, that was it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was 6 most disturbing camping encounters on camera. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.